What if I told you that Michael Jordan is about to return to the NBA? Not as a player, not as an owner, but as something far more dangerous. He's coming back as the truth teller nobody asked for but everybody needs. And according to Stephen A. Smith, MJ is about to unleash brutal honesty that will shake the entire league to its core. This isn't just another comeback story, this is a reckoning. Welcome back to the channel, NBA fanatics. If you're passionate about basketball and tired of the sugar-coated narratives dominating today's NBA, you're in the right place. Before we dive into why Jordan's return could change everything, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Because today we're revealing how the GOAT is about to expose uncomfortable truths that will make superstars, front offices, and even fans squirm. The storm is coming. Stephen A. Smith isn't just making casual predictions, he's sounding the alarm. When he says Michael Jordan is coming with brutal honesty, he's warning the entire NBA that a storm is approaching. And this storm has a name: accountability. For years, the modern NBA has operated in a bubble of manufactured narratives, curated social media personas, and protective PR strategies. Players are insulated from real criticism, surrounded by yes men, and trained to give politically correct responses that say absolutely nothing. But Jordan comes from a different era, an era where truth was sacred, even when it hurt. He's never been interested in making people comfortable with lies when uncomfortable truths could make them better. His return isn't about nostalgia or staying relevant. It's about injecting a massive dose of reality into a league that has forgotten what standards look like. The accountability vacuum. Here's what most people don't understand about the current NBA culture. There's a massive accountability vacuum. Players today expect praise for showing up, recognition for effort, and protection from criticism. They've been conditioned to believe that anything less than constant validation is hate or disrespect. Jordan is about to shatter that delicate ecosystem. When he evaluates today's players, he won't be measuring them against participation trophies or social media metrics. He'll be measuring them against the standard he set, a standard that demanded perfection, embraced pressure, and never accepted excuses. Think about the issues plaguing today's NBA: load management, lack of defensive effort, superstar players forming alliances instead of competing, and a general softness that would have been unthinkable in Jordan's era. Every single one of these problems exists because nobody with real credibility has been willing to call them out directly. Jordan's brutal honesty isn't just going to point out these problems. It's going to force everyone involved to confront them. Front offices that enable weak mentalities, coaches who coddle superstars, and players who prioritize comfort over competition will all find themselves in the crosshairs. The LeBron factor. Jordan's return will put an end to this manufactured controversy once and for all. He doesn't need to tiptoe around anyone's feelings or worry about hurting egos. When Jordan speaks about his own legacy and where others fit in basketball history, his words carry the weight of 6 championships, 5 MVPs, and the most iconic career in sports history. The LeBron supporters who cry hate every time someone dares to suggest Jordan might be better are about to face an uncomfortable reality. The man himself is about to weigh in, and his opinion carries more weight than all the Twitter debates and ESPN segments combined. The super team problem. One of the most fascinating aspects of Stephen A's breakdown is his agreement that LeBron's decision to join Miami fundamentally damaged the NBA's competitive culture. This isn't just about one player or one decision. It's about how that decision created a template that weakened the entire league. Before the decision, superstars built their legacies by conquering their rivals, not joining them. The greatest players in history, Magic, Bird, Jordan, they didn't look for shortcuts to success. They created their own paths through dedication, persistence, and an unwillingness to accept defeat. LeBron's move to Miami didn't just change his career trajectory, It shifted the entire culture of the NBA. Suddenly, competition became collaboration. Rivalry became alliance building. The very DNA of what made basketball compelling was altered. Jordan, who built his dynasty by refusing to give up even when the Pistons were physically brutalizing him, is not going to view this cultural shift as progress. His brutal honesty about the super team era will force a conversation the league has been avoiding for over a decade. The soft culture epidemic. The modern NBA's biggest problem isn't talent, it's mentality. Today's players are incredibly skilled, but they're also incredibly protected from the kind of psychological pressure that creates true champions. They have media training to avoid controversial statements, social media teams to manage their image, and support systems designed to shield them from criticism. Jordan thrived under pressure that would break most modern players. He welcomed criticism, used doubts as fuel, and turned every slight into motivation for domination. The idea of needing emotional protection from media criticism would have been foreign to him. When Jordan returns with his brutal honesty, he's going to expose this softness for what it is, a fundamental weakness that's preventing players from reaching their full potential. His voice will cut through all the protective layers modern players hide behind and force them to confront uncomfortable truths about their own limitations. The leadership void. What the NBA has been missing is authentic leadership from someone whose credentials are unquestionable. There are plenty of analysts and former players who offer opinions, but none of them carry the gravitas that Jordan brings to any conversation. When Jordan speaks, it's not just another hot take or controversial opinion designed to generate clicks. It's the perspective of someone who defined excellence, who set the gold standard for what greatness looks like, and who earned the right to judge others by the highest possible criteria. This kind of leadership has been absent from the NBA discourse for too long. Players have been allowed to create their own narratives, set their own standards, and define success on their own terms. Jordan's return will re-establish what objective excellence looks like. The resistance and the revolution. Not everyone will welcome Jordan's brutal honesty. Players who have built their careers on inflated reputations will resist having those reputations challenged. Media members who profit from manufactured controversies will push back against someone who cuts through the noise with simple truths. But resistance is exactly what proves the necessity of Jordan's voice. The fact that brutal honesty feels revolutionary in today's NBA environment shows just how far the league has drifted from its competitive roots. The players who embrace Jordan's challenges, who use his criticism as motivation to improve, will separate themselves from those who shrink from accountability. This natural selection process will ultimately strengthen the league by rewarding the right mentalities and exposing the weak ones. The ripple effect. Jordan's impact won't be limited to just players. His brutal honesty will force front offices to reconsider how they build teams, coaches to reassess how they handle superstars, and media members to elevate their standards for what deserves praise versus criticism. When the greatest player of all time starts pointing out what's wrong with today's game, it creates pressure for systemic change. Teams will have to decide whether they want to continue enabling soft mentalities or start demanding the kind of toughness Jordan represents. This ripple effect could fundamentally alter how the NBA operates, from draft strategies to contract negotiations to playoff preparation. Jordan's voice carries the power to shift entire organizational philosophies. The legacy implications. What makes this return so significant is that Jordan isn't coming back to build his own legacy. That's already cemented. He's coming back to protect the integrity of basketball excellence itself. His brutal honesty serves a higher purpose than personal agenda. It serves the game. By refusing to allow mediocrity to be celebrated as greatness, Jordan will help restore proper perspective to how we evaluate basketball achievement. This isn't about tearing anyone down, it's about lifting the entire standard of what deserves recognition. This isn't about nostalgia for a different era. It's about applying timeless principles of excellence to modern circumstances. When Jordan speaks, he'll be reminding everyone what greatness actually looks like and why settling for anything less is unacceptable. The storm is coming, and its name is truth. The only question is whether today's NBA is strong enough to weather it or if it will crumble under the weight of its own comfortable lies. What do you think about Jordan's potential return as the league's truth teller? Are you ready for the brutal honesty that could shake up everything we think we know about today's NBA? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear whether you think this reckoning is necessary or if the league is better off with its current approach. If this breakdown of Jordan's potential impact got you thinking differently about the state of basketball, smash that like button and make sure you're subscribed, because we've got more controversial takes and hard truths coming your way. Until next time, remember, sometimes the truth hurts, but it's exactly what we need to hear.